YouTube, what is up guys? My name is Andy and today I'm going to teach you how to do DIY grip art even if you have no artistic talent. I've actually already done a how to put awesome art on your board, but it's been a while and I don't think I've done it from the attitude where because a lot of people just think they can't do something like this because it's they're not artistic enough or they don't have talent or skill, and every time I go into one of these I think that I'm going to blow it and ruin it, and if I just try it ends up pretty good and I'm impressed with myself. Maybe I shouldn't be super impressed with myself, but I just kind of expect a train wreck and I look back and I'm like, oh, this isn't bad, this is kind of cool. And then you can look down at your skateboard and you can see whatever you're drawing and you're like, I made that, and then you're like, oh shoot, I should be concentrating on a kickflip, and then you fall, but you get back up and you can see the art again, so that's good. No, it's just kind of neat. Or if you like the art so much, you could always hang it up on your wall and say, hey, I did that art, I'm an artist. So we're gonna do something very simple, and I suggest if you do think that you do not have artistic talent, start with something simple like this. I was actually gonna do an NES controller, and then I was like, no, let's do something different. And I thought about a Pokeball. Okay, everyone likes Pokemon. I'm gonna do a Pokeball right here in the middle of the board, and I actually pulled it up, and you should do this too. Google images. You know, you're trying to make your own piece. It's okay if you have a reference. And I'm doing the Pokeball that is kind of like tilted. You know, it's not staring straight at you. It's got a nice little circle to act like there's some light hitting it, and then the shadow down here, it'll be like, oh, you can do shading? It's gonna be fun. So I'm gonna talk about my strategy for this, and then we're gonna do a fun little time lapse of me putting it on. So to start out, you're gonna wanna outline the shape of what you're drawing, and since this is a Pokeball, it's gonna be a circle, which is actually kind of hard to draw. So to do this, you can either get something round, like this, and trace around it, and hopefully that works. But just to be safe, I'm actually gonna make a template out of a piece of like cardboard thing here. All right. So now I'm just gonna cut, this is circle enough, and once we, trace it on here, you have some room for error. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this out, put it here, and then circle around it to get the shape of the Pokeball. And I am using paint pens, which you can get these at your local arts and crafts store. These are Craft Smart. There's a bunch of different brands. I don't know which one's the best, but these have treated me just fine, and I get to keep reusing them. So they're a little pricey, but once you get one, you can make it last a little while and get a few art pieces out of it. All right, so if you feel brave enough just to freehand this, go right for it. I'm just trying to be safer than not, especially since I'm literally trying to teach you guys how to do this. If you're gonna do a job, you might as well do a good job. And even if your template looks a little wonky, once you actually get the colors down, it's gonna take away from the fact that your circle might not be super on though, but I mean, like, just by standing back, that looks pretty good. You can actually find the pieces that are like maybe higher in some spots and smooth it out. And also the lines on the paper are gonna mess with my eyeballs a little bit, and yours. But that's a circle. That's a circle, people. All right, so we're gonna put it right here, and you can measure if you want. I'm just gonna eyeball it and try to center it up as much as I can. We're gonna draw an outline circle, which actually the logo that I'm using actually has a black line around it. So this is quite literally in the graphic too. But most of the time I make the sketch with the black paint pen, and then I cover it up with other colors. All right. That's a circle. It's pretty good. It's dark. It's black on black, but you can hopefully see that. Pretty good though. Like if I was gonna freehand that, it would not look like that. So my first goal, now you just have to start using freehand. My first goal is gonna be the big thick beam right there is gonna be the middle. So you don't want to draw it in the middle. You want to draw the first line, this, slightly above what you think is the middle. And like I said, you are going to be your worst critic with all of this. Just keep going. If you think it's off or you messed up, just keep going and see what you can do. It always ends up better than you think it's going to. And even if, see right here, I feel like this line came down. Can you see that? That's an easy fix. I'm just gonna go up here and draw it, and I'm gonna paint over that with the dark gray color right there. Okay, and I can even outline where my white's gonna go. So we'll get the white one, and we'll kind of draw a circle, and that's where that's gonna go. And then right here, I feel like these are the more critical ones. The good thing with paint pens is that you usually can always go back over and fix it. Okay, we're just gonna try to get the spots down. We're not doing a time lapse, are we? We're just gonna like talk this whole video. Okay, and then this whole space is white. So I'm gonna just outline where my white is too. And that tapers off. It almost makes like a swoosh right there. So I suggest picking a color, and then so see these 3 white spaces? Knock those out and kind of outline where they're gonna go. And really, these are solid white pieces, so you can go ahead and fill those in right now if you want to. And that's the fun part, because once you got them outlined, it's kind of hard to go outside and mess it up. How many people do you think have drawn a Pokeball on their grip tape?
At least 6, maybe 12.
Ooh, Alex Chalmers. All right, so we got our white spots in. I'm gonna repeat the process with the red and actually it's supposed to be like a darker gray because of the shading where it's actually white, but it's in the shade, so it looks gray. And all I have is a silver, so hopefully that works. Okay, so for this is supposed to be like kind of like a darker gray than this. So I'm gonna be a little experimental. I'm gonna put black down and then try to lighten it with the white marker and try to get a mix. We'll see how this goes. And to do it when it's wet is probably beneficial. Now that might be like, oh, well, that's clearly too much, Andy. You just go back over it in black. It might not work. We might just have to do black. Honestly, we could even experiment with this. Okay, so I did experiment with some blending and I decided just to go with this. I've done blending to come up with a darker tone in the past. It didn't really work today, so it was very easy to go back over with this and make it look one color. Now, see how my lines are a little sloppy? I'm gonna wait a little while and then I'm gonna go back over these lines to make them crispy. One thing I can do while I'm waiting is this has an inner circle inside the button on the Pokeball. So I'm just gonna freehand this, and this is one of those things that hopefully you get right. I think I nailed it. I guess it's a little smaller in this, but it is what it is. Okay, so here it is. It doesn't look terrible, but I think what I wanted to do to make it pop on the board is I'm actually gonna go around and kind of give it a halo effect. If you notice on the actual graphic, there is a black line. So I'm going to keep that black line and put a kind of a white line around it, and then I might do some like light spikes. I don't know what they're called. Let's just see how it looks. Hopefully I don't ruin it. If I did ruin it, this video will be called Don't Listen to This Guy About Grip Tape Art. Actually, you know what? Cameraman, go away. All right, so I'm glad I took the chance and did like the light coming out of it, because especially when I feel like it looks way better in the LCD screen than when I look at it in real life. But also I want to point out that when I haloed it, it made it look so much more round. When it was just on there by itself, it kind of, I saw imperfections and whatnot. And now when I stand back and look at it, I'm like, oh, cool. See, every single time I do this, I usually come out and I'm like, hey, that wasn't that bad. And I honestly, I don't think I have some artistic talent, but it's not in paint pens. It's really not. It's in charcoal. I like to do charcoal drawings, and I'm not like the best at it or anything, but if I can make you a good drawing, it's typically in charcoal. So this, every time I do it, I kind of feel out of my element, and it always ends up okay. So I want to urge you to try it yourself, especially during this weird year when a lot of us are, I like to think most of us are at home more often than not. You know, we're not traveling and doing all that stuff. This is just a cool day project you could do. You know, get some paint pens and create something. Hang it up on your wall, give it to your kid, give it to somebody at the skate park, skate it yourself. That's it. Thank you guys for watching this. I hope it helped somebody. I liked doing this, and I'm unfortunately going to be getting surgery here soon and will be off my skateboard for a long time, so I'll probably do another one of these just because I need to create content that I want to do, and I had fun making this. So thank you guys for watching. If you want to see more videos, hit the subscribe button. I do videos all the time. I would appreciate that. If you need skateboard gear, to actually skateboard like I cannot, thisredquarters.com is my online skate shop. If you have a local shop near you, please support them, and they can always carry our gear. But if not, we are here for you. That's it. Pokemon out. There's my kneecap. Or is that my thigh? That's my thigh. It's usually just knees in the video. Today there's a thigh. That's weird. Brian, what do you think? This is the bonus clip.
You did a good job.
Do you mean that?
Kinda.
Great.